स्टडी IQ IAS, आपका सिलेक्शन हमारा मिशन।
Hi aspirants, welcome to StudyIQ IAS. Myself Utkrash Singh, and in this particular lecture we are going to cover the entire Anthropology Optional syllabus. In fact, not cover, we have to discuss this syllabus in a time frame of 15 minutes. See, anthropology is one of the most sought after optional subject in the list of UPSC optional. Being one of the shortest optional, in fact the shortest optional in the list, static, most overlapping with the GS topics, which students generally do not know because they perceive that the name of the subject is totally different from what they have heard in their schooling days, or in fact at times in the college days also. So if the name is different, the content is also going to be different, but it is not, trust you me. For example, Indus Valley Civilization, Harappan Civilization, Stone Age, Mahajanapadas, all these topics you do study in the GS portion, in the ancient history. They are common here in anthropology. Gram Sabha, 5th schedule, 6th schedule, separatist movements, secessionist movement, threats to internal security, communalism, regionalism. These topics are also there. Art and culture topics are also there. Indian society is completely overlapping with social anthropology portion of anthropology. It is an overlapping subject as well, which aspirants do not generally know. And at times the counselors also are not having these subjects. They are also misguided, and they often tell the students that there is no overlapping with anthropology and GS. In fact, more than a lot of subject of the GS, anthropology does show a great degree of questions being asked in the GS examination from this particular optional subject. For example, in 2024, 33% of the GS1 came from anthropology optional. Now it is a big deed. Why? Because GS1 has 3 different areas: history, geography and society. Each of them individually covers somewhere between 30 to 35%. Anthropology, which is not there explicitly in the list, it gives a cumulative total of 33% questions being asked from anthropology. So it is a great feat for anthropology. And the same is for internal security and other portions, science and technology, essay ethics also. So it is a very in-demand subject, high-scoring subject compared to other humanities-oriented optional subjects. The number of toppers that you see in the list of anthropology final merit list is mostly from this subject. So we need to be aware with the syllabus. Just like any other optional subject, anthropology optional syllabus is also divided into 2 papers, paper 1 and paper 2. Paper 1 happens to be mostly generic in nature. Paper 2 is mostly inclined towards the Indian society. The Indian theme is being followed. In other subjects also the same pattern is being explored. All right. For example, if you are reading subjects like philosophy, they will also divide it into Western philosophy and Indian philosophy. So paper 2 is generally Indian in nature in most of the optional subject. Although we do study some of the case studies and examples in paper 1, which has references from Indian tribals, Indian communities and Indian people. Now this paper 1, which is generic in nature, it can be divided into mostly 3 sections. All right. The first section is social cultural anthropology. Social and cultural anthropology. The second section here is physical or biological anthropology. The third section is archaeological anthropology 1. Archaeological anthro 1. Okay? या फिर we can also say it that general archaeology is present in paper 1. General archaeology is given in this particular paper. At times, while decoding the paper 1, I keep generic portion arranged in 4 different sections. There is another section which is the section of the theories, but eventually it is part of the social cultural anthropology, so it is better to consider it as a subset of social cultural anthropology. If you want, you can take it as another section or a subsection within social cultural anthropology. So there are 4 different areas in which we are breaking it down. To have a comprehensive understanding. Similarly, the paper 2, which is more Indian associated, Indian themes are being followed. Here the first initial units are going to be about Indian archaeology. Indian archaeology. All right, Indian archaeology. Then we have discussion about Indian society, the customs, the philosophy of Indian society, the demography of Indian society, nature of Indian society, various phenomena like caste system, Varn, Jajmani, all these things are there. Purusharth is there. Apart from that, Varnashram system is there. Towards the end, you have processes of social change that are continuously affecting Indian society and have also influenced Indian society in the past. And there's a discussion about the minorities, the people of India, various religion and their impact on the Indian society. So this is the area of Indian society, greatly overlapping with GS1 society portion. Last portion is tribal India. This is something that you do not read in any of the other subject. If you see the census of 2011, out of the total 121 CR population that we had in India, around 8.6% of the population was the population of scheduled tribes. Now we have not conducted any census in the past around 12 to 15 years. It has been a long time period for a census to have been conducted. So probably the next census data, when we are going to have it, it will show a considerable increase in the number of scheduled tribes, which is going to be probably above 9%. Because between 2001 to 2011, there was an increment of 0.4%. So if we follow the same trend, then also we are going to have a population of STs above 9. And these STs are not including all the tribals in India. Why? Because see, all the scheduled tribes are tribals, but all the tribals are not scheduled tribes. So we are talking about the number of scheduled tribes, which is 8.6% and going to be 9% soon as the next census data is going to come. All right. So this is very interesting. You will get familiar with the tribals of India. A lot of their handicraft, their practices, their custom, their art forms, they are included in the list of the GI tag artifacts. And you often see in the art and culture, a lot of things are given the GI tag. So a lot of these artifacts are having a tribal origin. So you'll get more familiar with these components. So this is a general breakdown. Acha, we can call this particular section general archaeology plus Indian archaeology as archaeological anthropology also. It is called as, together it is called as archaeological anthropology. It is divided in two papers, but together it is called as archaeological anthropology. So these are the various areas. Now we have to cover unit by unit discussion. And for that, I think this document is going to be quite handy for me and for you also. We have prepared this anthropology insights document. There are two variants, insight plus advanced and insight plus document. And you get this for free of cost. Anthropology Insight is present in our Telegram channel, which you can download free of cost. All right. Anthropology Insight Advanced, which is a more specific type of data, has more specific type of data that is present for the people who have enrolled in the advanced batches of Anthropology Optional, which we have started. Okay? So I'll tell you the ID. You can reach out to these IDs, Utkarsh Singh _here, and not Instagram. On the Telegram ID, you will be finding it. Anthropology Decoded by Utkarsh Singh. You can reach out to this Telegram channel and you'll find this Insight PDF pinned for you to download. And it is going to be a very handy and important document for your anthropology preparation. Do get it printed out and side by side keep it with you during your preparation. If you are not able to locate the Telegram channel, you can reach out to me on Instagram ID also and on the email ID also. Another information which I just got reminded of, that our Anthropology Optional Foundation batches are also closing today as you are seeing this particular video. Today is the last day. We have had at least 4 to 5 classes by now. We are going to have a list of holidays in the coming days. 26 January weekend is going to be an extended weekend. You will be getting total of 4 holidays there. And I believe these 4 to 6 lectures that you have missed, you can easily cover in those holidays. All right. So if you are planning of starting your preparation under a able guidance, proper guidance with test series, with mentorship, with regular answer writing question, with all the content that you require without wasting any time and trying to search the content here and there, updated documents from the research paper, which are mostly accurate, not like the other sources which are mostly having a lot of errors. So you'll get all these things in the foundation batches, which you can get enrolled by reaching out on the StudyIQ application or the IDs. You'll be finding a counseling number also. You can reach out to that also directly. If you want extra discount code specifically for those students who are already enrolled in some of the courses of StudyIQ, they can reach out to me on these IDs again for extra discount. You have to tell me your register mobile number. Along with the register mobile number, you have to also inform me about the variant that you are willing to enroll. Optional has two variants, gold and platinum. I'll get aside, you can take a quick image or a screenshot and you can compare it and let me know if you want to enroll in gold or platinum. Okay? Shali. I'll be telling you about the batches and the variants towards the end of the video again, but let us quickly come back to this inside document. Let me have this on the full screen mode. Yes, now it's okay. So the very first unit, we have arranged this document according to the paper 1, paper 2, according to the section, and we have included the questions which have been asked year wise in these sections. All right. So the first section, as we have discussed, is social anthropology. Social anthropology starts with unit 1.1, which is the introductory unit. It talks about the meaning and the nature of anthropology. What is anthropology? We say that anthropology is derived from two Greek words, anthropos plus logos. Anthropos means men, logos mean the study. So anthropology is a scientific, systematic, holistic study of mankind across time and space. That is the idea of anthropology. All right. So we talk about the origin, the development, the growth and evolution of anthropology as a discipline in this first unit. The second unit is about interrelationship, exploring the interrelationship of anthropology with other domains and other disciplines. How anthropology is similar and different to sociology, how it is similar and different to life sciences, how it is similar or different to psychology, sociology, and all these subjects. Because anthropology is a holistic science. So what you study in political sciences, that is also present here. There is a field called as political anthropology. What you study in sociology, that is also present here. There is a field called as social cultural anthropology. What you study, a lot of things that you cover in the field of medicine, they are also present. You have the fields like epidemiology and medical anthropology in anthropology. A lot of things that you study in management courses, they are also being covered because there are subfields or sub areas called as anthropology of management and business anthropology. Then there is digital and anthropology of media. If you are somebody from journalism, then also a section is there which is not included in the syllabus, but as a discipline, anthropology does have it. All right. Apart from that, archaeological anthropology, which talk about past just like the history. All right. Environmental ecological anthropology is also there. All right. Economic anthropology is also there. So whatever you study in different subject, they are studied in anthropology from a more humanistic angle and their application towards human society. All right. So in this unit, we are going to introspect and explore the relationship of anthropology with various disciplines, the similarity, the dissimilarities. Third is 1.3. What are the major branches? For example, we have discussed the decoding of the syllabus and we have divided into 6 areas. Social cultural theories, physical, archaeological, tribal, Indian society. 6 areas are there. But as far as the syllabus is concerned, if we talk about the syllabus specifically, so the anthropology syllabus, sorry, not anthropology syllabus, anthropology subject is divided into 4 branches. So there is a scholar who is called as Franz Boas, an American anthropologist. He is the father of American anthropology, at times also called as father of modern anthropology, although that designation is refuted, debated. A lot of people do have that designation, claims on that designation. So in this particular unit, we talk about major branches like social anthropology, physical anthropology, and then archaeological and linguistic anthropology. These are 4 major branches. At times, some scholars have also opined that there is a 5th branch as well, which is called as applied anthropology. So these are the initial 3 units. After that, you will move to unit 2.1. In between also there are unit 1.4, 1.5, 1.6, 1.7, but they are mostly part of physical biological anthropology. So we have divided the paper in a more structured way. All the units of social anthropology together, all the units of physical anthropology together. So that is why we are not talking in a chronological sense, rather we are talking in the sequence of various sections. So in social anthropology, after unit 1.3, we have unit 2.1 and 2.2. Unit 2.1, 2.2 talks about culture and society. What is culture? What is society? Is culture unique to humans, or do certain other non-human primates like gorillas, apes, chimpanzees also do have the sense of culture? How the culture changes, how it is transmitted, what is assimilation, what is acculturation, what is transculturation, various processes through which changes do come. For example, a lot number of times you will see that due to the diffusion of Islamic practices in the Indian subcontinent during the medieval era, you'll find a lot of customs, a lot of culinary, a lot of dietary choices, dietary practices, costume, music, language that has been also influenced by the advent of Islam in the Indian subcontinent. So that is a diffusionary phenomena. Due to diffusion, a lot of changes have been introduced in the Indian society. A lot number of times when a tribal and a non-tribal society comes into close contact with each other, you'll find that either of their, mostly among the tribal society, changes will get incorporated. For example, they do not have any caste system. Mostly tribals have an egalitarian type of nature. All right, caste distinction are not there. But due to their contact with the Hindu society, they will incorporate these changes. You know, their own cultural practices will start getting eroded, and they'll be replaced by the practices and the custom and the belief of the mainstream Hindu non-tribal community members. This practice or this phenomena will be seen as acculturation. Similarly, there are other practices, other phenomena also. So we are going to discuss that. Various attributes of culture, various aspects of culture. Then society. What is society? What is social group? Social institutions. How social institutions change. What are primary group, secondary group? All right, what are social norms? All these things we are going to. The social stratification, the caste system, the class system. They are going to be studied in unit 2.2. Then we have unit from 2.3 to unit 5. There are at least 6 units. And in these units, we talk about various socio-cultural institutions. Marriage is one such institution. What is marriage? How it originated? Why does it exist? If it is there, it must have certain role or function to play. What is that function? How many types of marriages are seen in the tribal society, in the non-tribal society? For example, certain tribes of India have a practice of what we call as marriage by capture, all right, or marriage by elopement. Similar practices are seen in the epics like Mahabharata and Ramayana. For example, Lord Krishna eloped with Princess Rukmini, the sister of the king Rukmi, and this type of marriage is called as elopement. Similar practices are present among a lot of Indian tribals as well. All right, so it is about that. A lot of different type of payments that are included or associated with marriage, they are being studied in this unit. Similarly, family, kinship, economic organization, political organization, and religion. Why do religion exist? Will religion decline? How religion has evolved? From where it has come? What is the difference between tribal political structures and mainland political structure? How the economy of tribal society is different from mainland society? What are different type of economies? What do they do for a living? These all things are covered under that unit. Then unit 8 is about the research methodology. Whatever we study in anthropology, they undergo a process of research. So what are the various methods of research? How do we conduct anthropological research? We are known for the intricate fieldwork that we perform. How that fieldwork is being conducted. That is read in this particular unit. There is another unit, that is unit 7. I have missed it. It is about language. Language is a vehicle of culture. Whatever we learn about culture, it is through the language. Either you read it or somebody is telling you. So language is very important for the continuous transmission of the culture. So we'll talk about how language changes, what is the impact of language, social context and cultural context of language. Then you have this section of theories, and there are 10 theories. They try to explore the various questions about culture. What, where, when, why, how. And they are the basis of anthropological inquiries. After that, you have physical anthropology and biological anthropology. It talks about evolution, how humans evolved, Darwin-Lamarck theories, all right, the post-Darwinian or the Neo-Lamarckian theory and the synthetic theory. It talks about the order primata, how different members of order primata are different. Apes are different from men. How the changes have incorporated. How the changes have incorporated among us. After that, you have units like paleontology, where we talk about the fossil record. We try to peep in the past. Our ancestors were quadrupedal. They were walking on 4 legs. We are bipedal. We are walking on 2 legs. There are a lot of changes that have gotten incorporated for such evolutionary trajectories. We try to study them. Plus fossils like Neanderthal, Australopithecus, Homo erectus, Homo sapiens, how Neanderthals declined, how humans originated. Everything is covered in this particular unit 1.6. Then 1.7, the biological basis of life. A lot of people do think that for understanding anthropology, you require a background in biology. That is not at all. If you have read biology till unit 9 or 10, standard 9 to 10, that is more than enough. Even if you have forgotten most of the things, a quick refresh and an easy way in which we are going to make it familiar to you, it will be more than enough. And cherry on the top, the only unit which is totally biological, where you discuss about cell cycle, cell division, what is chromosome, replication, transcription, translation. This never comes in the examination. There is only one question that has been asked, that too also in 2008. So that is why we have written no direct question asked. In past 10 years, there have been no direct question that has been asked from this particular unit. Then unit 9.1. The unit 9.1 is about the human genetics. All right. We talk about Mendelism. We talk about various methods how we conduct genetic study, like karyotyping, immunogenetics, serogenetics, cytogenetics. All these things are being covered here. Then we discuss about phenomena, genetic phenomena like polygenic inheritance, monogenic inheritance. What is genetic polymorphism? How variation come in a population through genetic mutation, genetic drift, recombination. We also talk about Hardy-Weinberg principle, which we all have read in the schooling days. Then there are units which cover a lot of chromosomal abnormalities, which is relevant from the science and technology point of view also. Down syndrome, Klinefelter syndrome, etc. Numerical and chromosomal structural abnormalities. Then we talk about the phenomena of race and racism. How the population of Europe is different from Africa, population of Mongolia is different from population of South Asia. What are the various races? How race formation occurs? Does anything like race actually exist? Is any race superior or inferior? We talk about all these things. Then there are units which are dedicated towards variation, genetic markers, followed by ecological and epidemiological anthropology. In ecological anthropology, we are going to discuss about the interaction between human and environment and its effect. Epidemiological anthropology, disease, there is spread. All right. Then we have a unit that is dedicated for growth and development studies. What are the various stages of growth? What are the factors which influence our growth and development? How we age, how aging does occur. Can we reverse or stop aging? All these questions in this particular unit. Body types, some people are very thick, some people are naturally very thin, some people have a muscular body type. What are those? We are going to discuss that. Unit 11 is demography, the study of population, how it changes, how fertility is influenced, how social practices, cultural practices can influence the fertility of a particular group. They are going to be studied. Unit 12 is about the application. Whatever you have read, what is the application of that? Specifically, forensic anthropology, anthropometry, ergonomics, eugenics, all these things are going to be studied. Followed by archaeology. Archaeology, we have to start from Stone Age till the Metal Age. Globally, what has happened? In India, what has happened? We have to talk about Harappan society. We have to talk about Neolithic of India. What are the various methods through which we study the past? Dating methods, how carbon dating works, etc. So this is the section of archaeology. Archaeology is followed by the portion of Indian society and tribal India. Indian society, we have just briefed. Tribal society also, we study about who are tribals, how tribals are different from scheduled tribes, how scheduled tribe is different from PVTG, historical origin of these tribes, their administration under the pre-colonial and the colonial time period and the post-colonial time period. What are their major problems, the origin of their problems, and what solution we have for their problem. All right, the concept of ethnicity, etc. So in a nutshell, although we planned for a 15-minute video, but due to the different length of units, it took around 23 odd minutes. I hope that is understandable. There is something more only, there is nothing less. So with this, we come to the end of this particular discussion. I hope you will be able to figure out and make your mind that anthropology has a very diversified type of content. It is not monotonous like most of the subject. Every other month you are reading something new, and that is why your interest never fluctuates. And interest is the most important part of optional selection, because optional is like the marriage, a long-term relationship you have to maintain, and for that you need to be interested thoroughly. So apart from being the shortest optional, PYQs being repeated, highest success rate in past 10 years, highest average marks, most number of toppers, great overlap with the GS, static portion with hardly any current affairs, anthropology does happen to be a very interesting option as well. So if you are somebody who is interested in the subject and you are planning to give your attempt with this subject in 27 or 28, it is high time you get enrolled. If you are still figuring out, not sure which option to select according to your background, and if you need to discuss it with me, you can reach out to my IDs, Instagram or email ID. Those who are sure that they have to take anthropology, they can reach out to the website, use the code USLive and get enrolled. Existing students can get extra discount by reaching on to my IDs and mentioning their register mobile number and the variant that they need to be incorporated. So hopefully see you all in the batches. Batches are closing soon. Do not delay it if you have already made your mind. Thank you very much. All the best for your preparation. Goodbye.
StudyIQ IAS, आपका सिलेक्शन हमारा मिशन।